Hello, everybody. This is the Shadow Hunter here, and today I'm here to do a tier list of Danganronpa V3 characters. Danganronpa V3 is probably one of my favorite games of all time, aside from the one right before it, because of the cases and how chaotic it is. At least when it comes to mystery games. So, I'm going to be basing these off of not only how they are in the canon games, but how they are in the fan games as well in some cases. Oh, fan games or fan fiction or whatever. Okay, to start off, we have Rantaro. Rantaro, he's okay. So he's in C tier because I do like the plot they use for him, but there's really not much to his character other than the plot twist with him in it, and that's not necessarily enough for him to be higher than C tier. The fan games, kind of like the fan game that I saw Rantaro in, the only one, I didn't really see anything more to his character. They kind of made more, and they kind of dug more into the plot twist at the fourth chapter, or it was the third, I don't remember. But it was weird, and I didn't really like it. Because they could have done way more with his character. I mean, they did do some when it comes to his trust with Kaede. There's that was a thing, but other than that, there's not really much to his character. I wish they would have made him a proper character, but I mean, I'm kind of disappointed in Ritaro. Next is Kaede. Kaede. Eight. Should I do it here, guys? Okay, so the thing with Kaede is that, um, like, I love Kaede's personality. I love her. I love how she, like, I love her execution. The only thing I don't like is the fact that she is the first chapter killer. However, she was supposed to be the protagonist. So, and and the thing is, I want to save S for, like, um, the best of the best. Actually, I put Katie in S because since that's the only one, and it actually didn't really hinder her, from my opinion. I kind of love her. I really love her, especially since she was a protagonist in Redemption Rompa. It was actually really, really good. Love it. The only issue I have with her, like I said, is that she died way too early for my taste, and she can't, like. I just prefer for her to. I prefer for her to be the protagonist in the whole game. So I guess, but we're not necessarily taking into account how long they lived, though. That's how I see it. So I love her enough to put her in S tier, especially since being the ultimate piano player, she is really, really good as a character. She's she's also not the typical character, which is a good thing. Ryoma, D tier. D tier because I don't really want to. Yeah, like. Okay, the only thing I like about him is the fact that while he's ultimate tennis player, he doesn't really like being a tennis player. He gave up on tennis because of his past. Okay, that's fine. If his past wasn't so basic. Oh, and he died way too early for me to have any emotional connection to him because there's not really much to his character. I don't really care. So when he died, I didn't really care about him. I cared more about who killed him than him, and then the one who got killed, which is him. He is, and what I mean by basic, I'm not talking about like just a regular person. I'm talking about a common, like someone who is in a commonly used trope in a common way. The fact that he's like, because of my past issues with one tennis match, I can't play tennis anymore. Dude, do you not know how much anime does that? Do you not know how many other video games does that? Do you know how many things like there's so many entertainment stuff that does basically the same thing Ryoma does. I even don't really like the trope. Jordan. Okay, next up is Kurumi. Kurumi is gonna go A tier. The reason I say A tier is because Kurumi, compared to Ryoma, well, they both are basic for different reasons. However, Kurumi is a character that is a typical maid. The main reason she's an A is because I love how they wrote her in the second trial. She was a really good character to have a breakdown in the trial. Um, One of the worst things that she can do is kill somebody, and she's considered one of the nicest people ever. So the fact that they took her genuine kindness and twisted it into someone who could commit murder is really clever. And the fact that she was the pseudo headmaster of Japan was really, really entertaining. And I love the fact that um, I love the fact that she tried to run away from the execution. She's probably one of the best characters as far as executions. However, one of my least favorite parts about her is how basic she is as a normal character. Actually, that means I'll put her in B tier. I said B tier because I love how she is in the trial, but I don't like how she is as a normal character. Angie, Angie Yanaga, the ultimate artist, is going to be A tier. The reason she's an A tier isn't necessarily because of how she is in V3, even though I love how she is in V3, and I'm going to put Tenko here too because of two different reasons. One, because they're both different types of characters who happen to be foils of each other, and the other one is that they both apply to Himiko's character development. I will get into Himiko later. However, I really, really love the two. Though the two don't deserve as much hate as they get, especially not Angie, because if you think about it, Angie was the one who gave Tenko something to believe in. Tenko was the one who deeply cared for Himiko. Oh, and I do really love her hatred for males, which is weird because, well, I'm a gay guy. However, she does have a really interesting character, especially since she has an actual reason for hating males. Okay, Corkiel. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know. Good. And then Corkiel. I fucking hate him. He is bad. Okay, like, okay, so his character is okay. He's a logic driven character, okay. He could have been the Kirigiri, okay, but he ended up being the third killer, okay. But what ruined it all was his motive. He wanted to give his sister more friends and up in heaven. However, another issue is he has a thing for his sister. I hate it. I really do hate it. Well, and I also hate how he was in Redemption Rampa. I was glad he was killed on the first trial. I was good. It was good because I hated him. And now, best girl. This is best girl. I swear to God. The fact that she curses 1,000 times a minute, the fact that she has one of the best character designs for a female character in the game, well, she has actually these three are the top three, ironically. Um, actually no, it's Miu, Kaede, and Maki. But I'm not going into that. I love how vulgar she is. I love how she turns a lot of things into sexual innuendos. She is an unusual character when it comes to being in these types of circumstances. Like, what I don't think people notice, but every single character in V3 kind of has is part of a stereotype of when somebody is first to kill. Um, I'll go into the stereotypes later. However, Miu it's a mix of how she was in V3 and how she was in the Fang game Redemption Rampa. In Redemption Rampa, she was a killer in two Fang games, Redemption Rampa and Danganronpa Hypotheticals. And Danganronpa, however, she is a really, really good character. I could see her being like shipped with Kibo or Chihiro from Danganronpa 1 because it because of her fascination with technology. She's probably my favorite character. The issue I have probably is the fact that she trash talks Kaede. Actually, she is more stuck up than she should be. But other than that, she's really, really good. Okay, so now we have Gonta. Gonta is probably one of my favorite characters. In terms of males, I love how he is during the first case too. Not first case. Fourth case. In the fourth case, Gonta was very, very good in it. He probably was an interesting character, especially since Alter Ego Gonta kind of stepped in. And I love how he had a kind-hearted motive of killing, because he is a really kind-hearted character regularly. So he, honestly, in my opinion, is best boy. He goes to S tier. The only thing I don't like is his execution, because his execution was weird. In my opinion, it was just a regurgitated version of Leon's. And while Leon's was good, that kind of, like the fact that so many fan games utilize that kind of execution, and like and so many. And another thing is I think like sports players have a similar one most of the time. So I love it. I love Gonta. He is very kind-hearted. Kokichi Oma, aka the Ultimate Liar. Okay, he's called the Ultimate Supreme Leader, but he's the Ultimate Liar too. Um, the fans really love him, but mm, I'm gonna say B tier because the fan games that he's in, the few that I've seen, he's actually a really good character in. Like Redemption Rampa, he's a really good character in. Like he actually goes through character development and all that. Next is Kaito, another best boy. Another best boy. For different reasons than Gonta. So Gonta is just a kind of spirit. Kaido, well, he is just the best friend trope, basically, or the best man trope. He is actually a really interesting character who's facing a disease that, during his execution, he dies from. Basically, giving the middle finger to Monokuma and the Mastermind. He has this unwavering crush on Maki, a, a, a and he's the ultimate astronaut, which is weird because, well, he hasn't gone to space. However, he would love to go to space, and he's prepared all the time for it. However, he has probably my favorite character design out of all the males, so that's going for two. Uh, Sumugi. No, no, man. Yeah, neutral. So the reason, okay, so Sumugi, I love her character design. It's actually very adorable. I love her talent. Ultimate cosplayer. I love how she's okay. The weird part is I love how she's the mastermind, but but maybe not for the reason like because she's the ultimate cosplayer. She could cosplay as characters from other killing games. So and that's actually interesting. Mostly because, well, yeah. And the sixth trial was when she really shined. However, other than the sixth trial, she was way too basic. She Rentaro faced the same issue as Samugi, where other than a plot twist, she was a little too basic for my taste. So yeah, she was very difficult to handle properly, and I didn't necessarily agree with how they wrote her in the other chapters. She wasn't necessarily very vocal in the trials, except for the first, well, maybe the first one, and the sixth one. So I'm neutral towards her because it's like Rentaro, she's a little too basic, but some parts of her I really like. Next is Kibo. So Kibo, he is interesting. His His plot twist isn't as good as Samugi's or Taro's. It was still pretty good. However, he was really good during the trials as well, which is why I'm not neutral towards him, because he isn't necessarily basic at all. Especially since he does have a character foil. Well, not character foil. Especially since he has a common conflict with Kokichi. It kind of gives him more character. And his ending was a lot more great. His ending was a lot more amazing than Rantaro's or Sumugi's. Sumugi's was interesting, yeah, because just like Junko, she was crushed. But Kibo's was interesting because he basically ended Danganronpa by dying, by killing himself. Next up, we have the survivors. Okay, Shuichi. B tier. Because he's basically a regurgitated version of Makoto and Hajime. Except that does he have Alki? I don't know. But like, he tends to be very, very interesting as a character. He is the best protagonist of the three because he is obviously the ultimate detective. However, I do have some weird issues with him, including the fact that he was the next protagonist after Kaede. Since the ultimate detective would have been way too obvious in my opinion. However, However, I do like the fact that he gets character development too, especially with the fact that, especially dealing with Kaede's death, um, learning to entrust with people, having the courage to find the truth. There's so many things that he's done in the game that I'm really proud of with Shuichi. So, I guess that means. So I guess A tier for him instead of B. So, uh. I know where I'm gonna put these two. I'm gonna put you here and you here. So Himiko and Maki. Maki I love because like the plot twist of what talent she is interesting. Like she's probably one of the best characters in terms of having a mystery talent because well, what do you mean by mystery talent? Her mystery talent trope is she lies about what her talent is. Whereas Rentaro, Hajime, and Kyoko, you just don't know. The closest you can get to Maki's version is Kyoko's, because Kyoko doesn't necessarily speak her trope. She knows what it is, but she doesn't tell you. Maki knows what hers is, she just doesn't tell you what it is and tells you another talent. She is probably one of the best characters because I don't know, she's just an amazing character to be around. I could see her being protective of people she cares about, and I ship her with Kaido. And then there's Himiko Yumeno. Himiko is probably one of the best characters because, like, okay, I don't know if you guys remember early in the video, I said Angie and Tenko were catalysts for Himiko's character development. This is more true than anything. She's especially since she's becomes way more open after the third trial. She becomes way more open, she becomes more in touch with her emotions. She is probably a really good character because, well, of how they wrote her in the story. That's it, everybody. So make sure to leave, comment, like, subscribe, bark. Um, please watch. Now, I'm gonna give a quick shout out before I head off. So there's two YouTubers of Danganronpa that I very much recommend, and then two YouTubers that have done Danganronpa, but not just Danganronpa, that I would also recommend. So Weeby News is one of the YouTubers I recommend that does Danganronpa. She's really good at giving character analysis about their backstory and everything. So and she does tend to go into deep detail. Just like me, Just like me, she really loves Kaede because Kaede is best girl. However, the reason I recommend her is because if you are just getting to Danganronpa, she's probably one of the best characters, no, best YouTubers to go to. Then there is SHSL Blaze, the ultimate commentator. He is really good with fan game playthroughs, fan games. He is really just a really good character in general. I love him. No, as a YouTuber, he's really good. Actually, wait, nope, not he. They. Okay, sorry. They are really good. Sorry, I have a hard time speaking it. I have a hard time. However, please, when it comes to. However, I highly recommend them because they do really high quality content and they know what they're doing. However, most of their content is when they go live on YouTube instead of just regular YouTube videos. Even though he does do regular YouTube videos, but that's a whole different story. Um, so those two are the ones I recommend. Please follow their channel. I would like you to subscribe to them. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.